Hey, welcome back. We're spending the next 31 days talking about everything you need to know to get started with music production. Today is day 13 and we're talking about recording acoustic instruments. Acoustic guitars are one of the most popular instruments ever and you're going to end up miking one eventually. My general advice for acoustic guitars is to position the mic at least a foot away and aim it at about the 12th fret. This positioning is going to give you a fairly even mix from the boominess of the sound hole and the string noise from the fretboard. Let's talk briefly about horns. Most horns are fairly simple to mic up, especially brass. You kind of just point at the bell and call it a day. I tend to keep these things about 18 inches away, maybe a little more because these things can get loud, and turn it a little off axis to lessen the harshness. Woodwinds are a bit more of a challenge, but for curved saxophones, it's pretty simple. You kind of just point at the bell, and because of the shape, you do get a balanced mix of sound from the bell and the tone holes. Now, straight saxophones and clarinets are a little bit more of a challenge. I find that I typically end up miking about a foot above the right hand. This is typically the spot for me where everything sounds the sweetest and you can get the best balance. It is a challenge because, they're straight. Next, we're going to talk about electric guitars and basses. So I know they're technically not acoustic, but miking up the amp does in fact give it a different sound from plugging directly into the interface. For the most part, I'll use a dynamic microphone and be about 12 to 18 inches away and play around with the positioning of the microphone to the amp for different tones. Hopefully this was helpful for you and gave you a starting point on how to start recording some of these instruments. Next time we'll talk about some tips to help your tracks thicken up and pop more. See you then.